Hello, Scorpio. Long time no see. I am back. I promise. Let's go, babies. The Fool. Some of you are starting something new. Cool. I think that's awesome. It's a major arcana card. Um, but please be aware with this card. This card means that you are entering into something new, all right? And so go into it humbly. If I could give you any advice so far, okay? Go into it humbly because you don't really know the ins and outs of what you're going into. And it looks like some of you may be going into the arts of some sort. Okay, the Hierophant represents, it could represent a relationship with possibly a Taurus. It could also mean that some of you are thinking about going into some form of spirituality or some type of religious background, okay? But this card tells me that maybe you're tired of where you are and this is why you took the move that you took, okay? And that's totally fine because when we get tired of stuff, that's when we are supposed to make moves because you're juggling. You're juggling too much stuff. You're juggling trying to do this right and trying to do that right and trying to do this and trying to do that. And I have a feeling a lot of what you're juggling is just not fulfilling. So you're just kind of like taking a leap on something new. And I always think that's cool because that takes bravery. I see that you pulled the Empress, and that tells me that you are going to give birth to something new. It's going to come to fruition. You must have put a lot of time into whatever it is that you are putting your time into, because baby's almost here. And when I say baby's almost here, I mean whatever you started, it's like you've put enough time into it now to start seeing how this is going to like play out for you. And then you pulled the Sun. Okay, these are all beautiful cards, and 4 of which are major arcanas. So when you get to major arcana status like this tells me that you did a lot of work to make some changes in your life, and I'm proud of you for what you've done, because the Sun means that the sun is shining on you, baby, and you're like becoming a new person. And tell me, how is that not awesome? I don't care if you don't feel it right now. That's exactly what's happening. Ace of Wands, baby. Ace of Wands means you are very passionate about this new start. And I feel like maybe a lot of you are asking or watching this to just see, like, is it a good idea for you to make the move that you're making? Well, absolutely. Absolutely. So far, you get a yes, baby. And you have faith that everything is going to go according to plan. I mean, this is an awesome reading. Because you know what? Faith, bravery, and courage is what I am seeing in your reading. And then you pulled the Moon. Okay, now given that the Moon pulled up, I want to let you know there are some things that you are getting into that you don't fully see yet, and that's where this Faith card comes in. Because there may be some aspects to what you're doing that you don't know everything about, and it's like it's killing you that you don't know everything about it yet. And the Moon does not necessarily mean that what you find out later is going to be like misery or something horrible. It just means that you don't know everything about the situation yet. And that can sometimes be the exhausting part, you know, of the whole process. Give me just a moment so that I can tie this tarp down just a little bit, okay? Give me just a second. Okay. So regardless of whatever it is that you just started doing, whatever new venture you have taken on, whether it be a relationship or whether it be job related or whatever, it looks to me like you could still be juggling, which is making you tired. Or it could be the juggle that's making you want to move on and giving you the passion to move on to something that you could put all of your heart's energy into just one thing. And you have faith toward this. And this star over you tells me that you're using both sides of your brain. You're using your subconscious and you're using your consciousness to make this decision. And that's why the star is shining on you, and you have the support from the universe in what it is you're choosing to do, because you're giving the universe the faith back that it needs in order to work with you. And there are many things that you still don't know about it, but that's okay, because guess what? This card says the reason why you don't know about it is because you're still a child in it. But don't worry about it, because the sun is going to take care of you. And that is why I said when we first started off, like, you know, you got the full, which means new journey, new everything. You're starting something new, but you're still like, you're new at it too, right? And then, like, if I pull the world, then I'll be blown away. Okay, so you have temperance. To me, that means that a lot of you are being healed of past pains and past relationships that have hurt you in the past, and you're just kind of ready to move on to something different and to something new. I definitely see a move on. I definitely see that you guys are moving on to something else. And I also see that the reason for the move on is because you need to be healed of some conflict. Okay? You may have some conflicting ideas that are bugging you, that are making you tired, or you may be dealing with people who are just conflict oriented. Some people just like conflict, and I feel like you may possibly be wanting to get away from them, because this also means like you're moving. You could literally be moving away from conflict because you don't want it anymore. Yeah, because that conflict was a burden. This is the burden card. And that's why you're moving on. Let's see. Let's pull 3 more cards. So you guys decided to get on your horse and use your head and say, this is what I'm going to do. And you didn't, to me, I mean, you bypassed the Page of Swords. You bypassed the, and went straight to the Knight of Swords. You went straight to action. You like got busy right away. But there's still some confusion going on here, and that's kind of bothering you. So the confusion could also be the conflict that you're dealing with and the moon, right? That's what's making you feel confused. Well, if there's any advice that I could give you, one thing I will say is it's amazing when you are brave enough to make the type of move that I am seeing here, okay? It takes bravery. It takes balls to do what you guys are doing. You know? And this card could mean that you may be walking into a burden. It may be a burden at first, but it may reap a huge reward at the end. Or this could mean that you're getting away from a burden that you're tired of enduring. Okay? So now it looks like you guys have gotten to the point where I have a feeling that everything I'm talking about and everything that I mentioned, this is something that you were baking up and you hadn't made the decision yet. And you are now in decision mode, and you're not using your eyes to make your decision. You're using your mind to make the decision, Scorpio. Well, that's a great thing. Do what your intuition tells you, because your intuition is not going to steer you wrong. Okay? I'm going to pull one more card and we'll see what this means. Okay, the Page of Swords. You guys are deep in thought. Period. Deep in thought. Because I feel that you feel that something has to change in your life, and it needs to change immediately. That Hierophant card could mean you simply coming to watch tarot to get some advice. But regardless, I see that you want some changes and you want to make some changes and you want things to change. But I will tell you that the universe definitely has your back, honey, because you pulled a lot of major arcanas and a lot of positive cards. So I'm going to give you the universe has your back card. And we'll see what advice the universe has your back has to give you. Okay? And it says, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. So for some of you, you guys are just now learning how to love yourself. And do you know that I'm 39 years old and I'm just now learning how to love myself enough to let go of the shadow of the past? And some of you are letting go of the shadow of the past by actually making moves and doing different things so that you can experience different experiences. And that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Okay? So, based on what I see that you guys are deep in thought with regards to how to move forward and like what to do with regards to not wanting to be in a conflict-filled type situation. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull one of the Ascended Masters cards, and I'm going to see what your Ascended Master has to say, and I really hope that it brings this all home. Take charge of this situation. So, to me, it seems as though you can take charge of this situation, but you guys have some apprehension going on, okay? So let me read what this means to you, okay? So that you have a deeper understanding of what this card means for you, okay? Take charge of the situation. I see that you guys are deep in thought. You guys are ready to make a move. You guys are ready to do some different stuff and experience some different stuff because you've experienced some different things. And one of them is learning how to love yourself. And in loving yourself, trust me, I'm telling you, that's a new adventure all in of itself. So you have the power to heal, which is why you pulled the healing card, and alter the course of this situation. It's time for you to take charge and assume a leadership position. First, decide what you want. Be clear about the conditions that are acceptable or unacceptable to you. The universe responds when you're clear about your aims and intentions. The Ascended Masters will support your leadership role. Additional meanings for this card: talk openly and honestly about your feelings. Make a decision instead of passively waiting. Give yourself permission to do what you feel is right. Don't wait. Take action now. Be your own authority figure. So this tells me that other people may possibly be in your head telling you don't do this or don't do that. Please understand, this is your life and only you can live it. And if you are being pulled in a direction to make some changes in your life, I recommend that you go ahead and follow your heart and you do what it is you feel that you need to do. Please understand, most things are not going to just go without a hitch. And let me tell you why. Because there's things to learn along the way. Okay? And as you're learning these things along the way, you're going to experience some things that, you didn't expect. And, in the moment, you might feel like, oh my God, that sucked. You know what I mean? But trust me, it's the stuff that sucks the most that teaches you the most. So whenever things suck, you know what you do? You thank the universe and you say, you know what? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity to get through this struggle, because I know that once I get through this struggle, I'm going to be like 10 times better than I was before the struggle hit at all. You know what I mean? So this comes from Whispers of Lord Ganesha. I'm going to read that to you too. So basically, I'm just giving you guys a lot of universal advice. You pulled joy. Let me tell you what the little mouse represents. The little mouse represents your ego. And the ego is just there to help. But see, the elephant is the part of you that does most of the work. It is the soul part of you that does most of the work. And the ego does very little. So the ego has no place here. So you guys are experiencing some joy. And I'm feeling like you're experiencing some joy. Let the ice cream truck go by. You're experiencing some joy because I think you guys learned something recently about yourself that you did not know that you had. And I think it was love for self. You know, I could be wrong. This is a general reading, and this will not resonate with everybody, and I'm okay with that. But it will resonate with some of you. So joy. Joy is the state of the heart and the soul. Joy happens when the heart and the soul unite. This union is to achieve expansion for a greater good related to your divine path. Joy can create in you a sense of contentment, acceptance, and serenity. Even when your life is in a flux, you feel a deep knowing that whatever might happen will be for the highest good for all involved. When you have this knowledge in you, it brings spiritual determination, even through difficult circumstances such as those that may currently be undergoing. You will ultimately find your happiness. Okay, without reading the entire thing, because it's like paragraphs, what I'm seeing here, guys, is that you're going to make a new move, and yes, there will be ups and downs. You don't know what they are, which makes you a little apprehensive, and that is totally normal, okay? But I personally think that you should take charge of the situation as your Ascended Master suggested. Take charge of the situation. If you don't feel comfortable moving forward, then don't. Go ahead and wait. But some of you are ready to go. And if some of you are ready to go and make a move and you wanted to go ahead and watch this to find out, like, should I or shouldn't I? Spirit guides and angels are telling you, you better go for it, honey, because you just entered into a really beautiful space. So go for it and learn as much as you can in it. And yes, there are going to be some ups and downs, definitely. But guess what? If you stay where you are right now, there's still going to be ups and downs. So what would you rather do? Stay where you are going through ups and downs? Or would you rather learn something new, learn some new skills, give yourself new experiences? You're going to get through the ups and downs like you always have, and enjoy life the way that it was meant to be lived. So Scorpio, right now, with all those major arcanas that popped up, and the fact that you pulled joy from the whispers of Lord Ganesha, I just get the sense that, you know, things are just going like pretty cool for you guys. And I don't think anybody's on a freak out mode right now. I think everybody, like, you know, in Scorpio land right now is just kind of like chilling. And you guys are just, you know, using your heads right now to figure out what kind of decisions you want to make. Some of you already know what you want to do. Job related, relationship related, whatever related. Okay? You got Moses, who said take charge of the situation. And when I read it to you, it said, go now and go do your thing. Take charge of the situation. You be your own boss. So some of you are going into a leadership position, but some of you don't have to take this. Some of you don't have to take this leadership position because you're thinking, well, should I? Well, why wouldn't you? What makes you think that you're not capable of it? Why? Because you'd be new at it? Because you'd be new at it? That's the cool part. Ain't nothing wrong with being new at it. Scorpio, you better take this opportunity that's been given to you, and a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Don't go into this apprehensive. Go into this like a straight boss, because that's what you guys are, man. Talk to you guys soon. Love ya.